Howdy golfers. I have been wanting to do a shorter grip video than my 18 or 20 minute one for a long time. Hi. Um, this is the best way I can think to do it in a way that makes sense. One of the biggest problems with people when they have the club on the ground is they put the club down because their arm hangs like this and it goes very much across the palm. Some people think that I'm trying to get people to put the club in the fingers. I don't want that because your fingers are still kind of diagonal to the club and it tends to just roll up into your hand and then it ends up diagonal across your hand because very few people are going to actually play golf with it down, staying down in the finger like that. That's not a good way to grip the club, okay? So I like to grip the club just how you naturally kind of grab it if you're going to hold on to this end of the shaft, which as you can see is along the base of the fingers but perpendicular to the fingers, okay? And to do that, I like the club to be up in the air, okay? I teach it in a few steps. I like the trail hand, the bottom hand, to be away from the grip because I don't want the thumb to go on too early, okay? The reason why you can't do this on the ground is you'd have to do some awkward movements with your arm usually to do this, or like I do, kind of press down on that end to get it to stay perpendicular to your fingers. It's a lot easier if you do it up in the air or here, right, somewhere in there. So as you can see, perpendicular across the base of the fingers. Okay, I go at about 45 degrees. I'll explain why later. This would be 0, that would be 90, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter, but 45 degrees here. Curl the fingers around. That's step 1. Step 2 is to wrap this part of my hand straight across, not to go this way, because you can see that's going to twist it in my hand and then my fingers are not perpendicular to the club. So I go here, curl that around, and I wrap the hand over. Now the thumb is not stretched down the shaft. I'm not trying to reach it down the shaft like this, but this hand will go down a little bit, but I just wrap it around, okay? And then my thumb naturally just kind of falls onto the club. I can pull it back a little bit, but my fingers stay perpendicular to the club, okay? That gets it to where I have a lot of space on this side and not a lot of space on this side, right? Because it's just my finger, right? My pinky looks like that. It does not look like this with a gap in here where I could stick a T, right? If I go like this at all, not much space, more space, right? There's more space on this side, not as much space there as when I'm here. My knuckles, in some views, depending on grip strength, it'll twist a little bit, so it'll look a little bit like that. But for the most part, they stay a lot more parallel than if I go like this and have the grip coming out by my watch, okay? So, step 1, wrap the hand around the fingers, Step 2, wrap the thumb over. I don't like this hand down here because if the hand is down there, people tuck the thumb in and then that acts like a fulcrum and they can lever the club from there. So I don't like this hand down here. I like it out of the way. Bang, bang. And then this hand, right, that little pocket right here is where your thumb fits there. So your thumb fits right into that little pocket, just like that. You can see my fingers are staying pretty perpendicular to the grip the whole time, okay? Right, if I were to make a swing, right, I can always come back and go back to step 1 where it's kind of there in the base of my fingers, okay, with my fingers wrapped around and there. This lets me hinge it the most when it's out here, right? Can't hinge it nearly as much. So here, there, that, right? Yes, this, I could do this, right? This is supporting the weight of the club, right? But if I do that for too long, it's going to move up my hand and now my fingers are not perpendicular to the grip anymore. So here, wrap the hand around, okay, slide the hand down. The last bit here, if I put the hand on the bottom, okay, the grip is round, and wrap around, you guys can see all my knuckles. I can't see any of my knuckles, right? It's a very weak grip. If I put it on the side, right, I can see all my knuckles, right? It's a very strong grip. They're all facing me. So that's why I like about 45 degrees. So about 45 degrees, curl and wrap. There's kind of a standard neutral 2-knuckle grip, right? Put the right hand on and it will look, something like that. I don't care if players go a little stronger or a little bit weaker. I generally don't love the slightly weaker grips, but for some players it works out fine. Pretty neutral right about there. You can see that knuckle, and if I lift it up enough just so that I can see that knuckle and that knuckle. Pretty straightforward. Arms hang down, right? If you get your arms out, it's tougher still to have the grip in the right place. So this does encourage more vertical arms because there's the club coming out, and so I down clock until it hits the ground. Okay, so right, that's the grip I teach. Right, the AMG guys will tell you can go like this, have the club face just a little bit close from there when your palm is out in front of you, but you can see the fingers are perpendicular to the grip the whole time.